Today let's talk about Demon, a long-time favorite band of mine. Some of you know I even did a Demon tribute album 20 years ago, so it doesn't come as a surprise. First a disclaimer, if I insert band pictures, that's not always the exact same lineup who recorded the album I'm talking about. Demon had so many lineup changes over 40 years that I can't be bothered with that. Right. Ready?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
This was an easy one because it's the only Demon album I don't like very much. 9 long years after the previous studio album Blowout, Demon started into the second half of their career with this awkward CD which tried to modernize the sound of Demon for the 21st century, but ended up being a confused mess. Cry from the Street features cold, sterile keyboard sounds at the beginning, a programmed beat, then a kind of rap in the middle of the song. The title song shouts 20 times, "You're a monkey, you're a monkey, you're a monkey" at you till you start believing it and search for your bananas. The best part of the album is the ending because "Where Are You Coming From" and "Let Me Out of Here" are two tasteful tunes which let you recognize you're still listening to the same band who wrote albums like Breakout, for example. Demon tried to play safe with this one, continuing the style of Unbroken so closely that you think you've heard it before. It's a good record, but only with few outstanding songs in my opinion. Released in November 1985, only 8 months after the predecessor British Standard approved, this was a difficult time for the band. Guitarist Mel Spooner had passed away, and since he had been Dave Hill's main songwriting partner, this could have been the end for the band, especially since their last album had little success. But keyboarder Steve Watts stepped in, wrote the song Heart of Our Time and a couple more which led to this album. It shows a more melodic, quiet side of Demon, but it's still nice to listen to. After Hold On to the Dream with its impressive layers of keyboard sounds, Blowout was totally stripped down guitar, bass, drums, rock music. The reason for that was that keyboarder Steve Watts had left, the band hadn't found a replacement and decided just to carry on without. Guitarist Steve Brooks, who had a background in punk, wrote some straight rockers with a lot of energy.
And now, maximum energy.
Songs like Tell Me What You're Looking For, Crazy Town and The Speedy $1 Million Ride are good fun, but Blowout is no equal match for the Demon classics I'm going to talk about soon. The reviews were poor, and for several years it seemed that this was the last we've heard of the band.
Demon are not a heavy metal band. They are a bunch of old hippies who have put together the biggest load of rubbish I've heard in ages.
This was a quote from a contemporary review, just to show how much the metal press hated it.
Do your worst!
After the Plague, Demon understandably didn't want to make a step back to do The Unexpected Guest Part 2. Instead they bravely moved on into Pink Floyd territory, or whatever you want to call it, with some great numbers like Touching the Eyes, From the Outside or Wonderland, which shouldn't miss on a best-of compilation. As it says in the lyrics for The Link, behind it all there's so much more. I must admit I didn't like the album back then because I thought there was too little metal in it, but over the years it has grown on me. This album kicks off with Live on the Wire, one of my all-time favorites, but for the album ranking I couldn't place Breakout higher than this. Side A is awesome, but on the B side you get some tunes like Hollywood and Big Chance, which are not so impressive compared to other Demon releases. Sorry Breakout. This is a very sympathetic record, for it has spirit, positive energy. Unbroken and Take Me to Your Leader are memorable songs, and Fill Your Head with Rock is arguably Demon's best party tune since One Hell of a Night 30 years before. Better the Devil You Know, probably the best among the new Demon albums. Running only 40 minutes with its 9 songs, it has basically no fillers. The title song kicks off with a brutal riff. Standing on the Edge is a track immediately catching your attention in a tradition of taking the world by storm. Warriors is a powerful hymn. Obsession gives you some Uriah Heep keyboards. Except for the ballad at the end, surely one of the heaviest Demon records. To understand this album, you have to know how it was originally released. There was an LP containing fabulous epics like No More Hell on Earth, Barons of Darkness and Ivory Towers, running about 7 minutes each. Then there was a second disc, playable at 45 RPM, with simple 4-minute rockers like Nothing Turned Out Right and a ballad, Coming Home. If you listen to the CD with all the tracks together, you'll have the impression that there is a sudden break in style, but that's intentional. I guess this would be many people's number one due to nostalgia. But never tell a band their first album was still the best one, because that means they never improved since. Night of the Demon has some hits like the title track Into the Nightmare and Father of Time, but also a few average tunes like Big Love or Fool to Play the Hard Way. So... The Plague is a great concept album that sounds very round in style. After the previous album, this was such a jump in the band's development that Dave Hill said people think it ought to be the 6th album of the band instead of the 3rd. With a major label, a big promotional budget and a video for the title track, this could have been bigger. But since Life Isn't Fair, it remained a kind of secret favorite among metal fans. If you are watching this, I probably needn't tell you much about this record. Don't Break the Circle, Sign of a Madman, Have We Been Here Before, The Grand Illusion, Deliver Us From Evil, an album full of metal classics. An album close to perfection. Remembrance Day and Time Has Come are unforgettable epics, while Commercial Dynamite and The Life Brigade show the powerful metal side of the band. This album was a solid success. Subsequent touring in Germany led to a double live album, basically the peak in Demon's career around 1990.
It's time.
Alright, if you missed some Demon albums in the past 40 years, you now know which ones to look out for. Play them loud and have a good time.